Hey guys, it's your boy Blackrue back on the Gentleman of Crypto with the new show. Before we get started, let's cue Indigo Saint.
Let's get it. Indigo Saint in the building. Blackrue investing. Let's go.
Who's this producer?
Best believe it was Blackrue investing. With your money, you ain't gotta be guessing. Profits is what we manifesting. So we binge on that Blackrue investing. Best believe it was Blackrue investing. Got course in this race, we ain't resting. We got stocks, we got crypto with a blessing. So thank God for that Blackrue investing. Best believe it was Blackrue investing.
My man Indigo, what's up, y'all? Let me go ahead and switch to Face.
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you.
Comments. One second, y'all. Here we go. About to grab some comments here. So, what we're discussing today, y'all, is sorry about the chair. CBDCs coming in 2023. Yes, not kidding. Coming in 2023. One second here. Let's just let this load up, and then we can discuss both sides. One second, y'all. Here we go. About to grab some comments here. What's up, Bitcoin man? Good morning. Let me just mute this. All right. What's up, Brazen? Okay. All right, y'all. So when I say CBDCs are coming in 2023, I am dead kind of serious. If y'all don't know, y'all can come over to the channel. I've been talking CBDCs heavy to get people ready for it, and a couple coins that I like are involved in it, like LCX, like Hedera, like Quant. So definitely come over and check it out on the channel. But when I say talking both sides, there is a both sides to this when we talk CBDCs. There's the Fed central bank side, and then there's the people sovereignty and having control of our own money side. So let's get into that. So what I found out is a coin that I brought you guys a couple months ago on the channel here, which started out as at a cent when we talked about it. And of course, the Patreons got it first. If you're interested in the Patreon, it's on my description in any of my videos. So there's that. Let's see here. So when I brought you guys Cyprian, or I always say the name wrong. It's Cipher, kind of like a cipher. Cypherium. It was at 1 cent here, chilling at 1 cent. It's moved all the way up to 3.5 cents. Why has it moved up to 3.5 cents? Because the Fed is talking about using this as far as instant payments go between centralized banks. Crazy, right? This unheard of coin being used as payments between centralized banks and CBDCs. But if you want to know more about kind of like the down and dirty of it, we're not going to be able to get into all of it here. Go ahead and check out this video. Cypherium is working with the Fed now. We're not going to get totally deep into it, but we'll skim the surface a little bit. So if we come over here and look at the Fed now. Federal Reserve updates Fed Now service timing to mid-2023. And of course, like we always do on the show, I'll discuss what I'm discussing, and then I'll have a little time for questions at the end. So get those ready as well. Federal Reserve updates Fed Now service timing to mid-2023. Marks beginning of full-scale pilot testing. Okay? Now, what they notice, because they can correlate all our data, is that we don't like the word CBDCs. So what you will not hear in this entire thing is CBDCs. They don't know. They know we don't like that, so they remove that type of languaging. And what they've now gone to is something that everyone would like, which is instant payments. The previous communicated 2023 window launch window for the anticipated instant payment service comes as FedNow pilot program prepares to enter technical testing for service starting in September. Now, if you guys look at the previous videos I've done on Cyperium, this includes the Central Bank of Switzerland, the Central Bank of Hungary, the Central Bank of Britain, the Central Bank of God, like a lot of central banks, y'all. So here's part of it. They say Esther George, President and CEO of Federal Reserve Bank, Kansas City, and executive sponsor of the FedNow program, which we'll get into a little bit later. Currently, more than 121 organizations are participating in the FedNow pilot program. Recent newcomers include U.S. Bank, Exchange Bank, and several payment processors and solution providers, including Alacrity. I'm assuming that's how you say that. Alacrity Payments, LLC, CS Financial, Form 3, and Modest Bank Inc. So there, and this is how they say the benefits of instant payments are increasingly important to consumers and businesses. So, and you know how our government kind of does it, y'all. They kind of do like creep on us. Like, before you know it, like, okay, it starts at, okay, metal detectors in the airport and you got to go longer. Then it goes into, bam, now you're all of a sudden paying for bags that you never had to pay for before. Like, they just steadily creep and creep and creep and creep and creep. So they're going to start now, since they know we don't like CBDCs, they're going to start instant payments. Everybody loves instant payments. Before you know it, CBDCs, and then before you know it, cash is gone. And I'm sure they'll use some reason like, okay, it's better because no one has to touch the dirty cash and all of that. But when you really get and break down to it, cash is instant payments. Let me just make sure my thing is up here and you can hear me. Okay, cool. Cash, like there's no one who can control your cash. They can't stop you from using cash. But I don't know if you guys remember, there was a whole thing in Canada with truckers and gas and all of that, where they stopped them from receiving crypto. They cut off their bank accounts, but they still had cash, right? Now, if you move into things like ESG, and if you guys are not familiar with ESG, it's basically kind of like a social credit score, more or less. ESGs, right now, they're just rolling it out for companies, but they can say, okay, if you're doing something socially that's wrong, if you're doing something, here it is, environmental, social, and governance. If you're doing something that's environmentally wrong, if you're doing something that we deem socially wrong, we can ding your score, right? And that hurts you. So if they ever move that into a civilian, public type of realm, if you have a bad score, then maybe, boom, your money's cut off. So let me see where you guys are at on that. However, well, before we see where you guys are at, you can see here that they showcased Cyperium as the company that they wanted to use. Cyperium as a company that they wanted to use. And I can go into a little bit later. We're going to go into FedNow, tracking them down and making sure they are who they say they are. Let me see what we got with comments over here. Okay. All right, no comments yet, or maybe I'm just not live on this yet. Okay, let me see. Live. Okay. Yeah, just make sure you guys have your comments. There is no side. There are no sides to CBDCs. People need to stop sacrificing their freedom. I see what you're saying, Young Dunn. I see what you're saying, bro. But there are sides, bro. There are sides. Um. Okay, so let's get into the showcase and see if they are who or the Fed now and see if they are who they say they are. Wrong one here, over here. Okay. So, FBR Services. This is their official Twitter account. Now, as you can see, we're kind of like one of the firsts on this, right? They only got like 4,500 something followers. Federal Reserve Banks provides financial services to depository institutions. So if we come over here, you'll see they're meeting with someone there. You come down here a little bit lower. Department head, product management, Fed now. Come down a little lower. BNY Mellon, which is a huge bank. Andrew Haskell of them, he's there. So you got a huge bank there. You got Eric Van Bammer, Federal Reserve Financial Services. So you can see someone Federal Reserve Financial Services is meeting there. So you can pretty much decently assume they are who they say they are. They got people from big banks meeting, people from the Federal Reserve meeting with them. So you can pretty much assume they kind of are who they say they are. All right. So now we know that they are who they say they are. We're going to discuss Young Don's point of view from people being kind of sovereign to their own money. Now, a man that I'm going to bring up right now here is Amari Sachet. He's eCash's head guy. He also created Bitcoin Cash, but he split from them over disagreements here. And I go deep into my channel about eCash. All right, so you guys are gonna have to come over here if you want to really go deep into eCash. And one more thing, check me out on Rockfin. I see a lot of you guys are coming over. I have 162 followers over here after only about a month. So shout out to you guys. We go into more esoteric stuff and we touch more stuff, more ancient knowledge and more stuff that we cannot say on YouTube. And we go into a kind of what Young Don is talking about with CBDCs and Web3. We go into it really in depth here when we talk about the 7 Hermetic principles. If you don't know, come over here and find out. All right. Because I cannot kind of touch some of these subjects over here on YouTube for fear that they take my stuff down, for fear they'll ding my guys at Gentlemen of Crypto. So I cannot go into some of those things over here. Definitely can't go into stuff like, Fred Hampton and all of that, and talking about certain peoples who Fred Hampton united. So y'all definitely come over here and check that out. But yeah, so Amari Sachet. A lot of people in the Gentleman Crypto community are big on eCash, so I thought I'd check it out. And I liked some of the things that Amari was saying about money and sovereignty. Now, the thing that you always have to balance with this is, okay, the CBDC people, they have huge people behind them, like the World Economic Forum. And I know what people think about them because their leader, Klaus Schwab, was like, y'all own nothing and be happy. Just like, like he's pimping the world. Like, y'all just gonna own nothing and y'all gonna be happy, all right? Y'all gonna pay me my money. Y'all ain't gonna own nothing. Y'all gonna be happy about it. Ice-T would probably have a problem with what I'm saying right there. But anyway, there's the World Economic Forum. So those cryptos have huge money behind them. LCX, Hedera, and those cryptos are probably not going to be targeted to be taken out like Luna, right? So there's that. And then you have some of the cryptos that are way more sovereign, like eCash, stuff like Telcoin, stuff like, of course, Bitcoin. But of course, Bitcoin has that. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. Bitcoin has Bitcoin has that huge institutional following in which there are ETFs, stock ETFs that have Bitcoin. There are people that mine Bitcoin or Bitcoin miners that are publicly traded on the stock market. So Bitcoin has more of an institutional following, but still you see it kind of has a target on his back because people can trade Bitcoin without needing the government in between taking taxes, the government in between, getting their cut like a quote unquote gang, right? So let's see what Amari Sheshe says here, and he has a French accent. I know some people can't like necessarily hear my Detroit accent, but he has a French accent. So sometimes it's hard to hear some of what he's saying. So I'm going to make sure the captions are on, and we're going to get into this. And it's on like 1.5 times speed, so don't worry, we're not going to be here 1.25. So we're not going to be here listening to him too much. It's only about like a minute or two or three.
Like building cool stuff is important, but this is the future of financial freedom. And anyone that is liberty-minded and think about central banks and whatnots need to realize that the fancy, colorful stuff that we have right now in crypto, they don't.
Hold on, let me just play that again. I don't know why my captions are not showing up here, and I think it's very important to understand what he's saying. Okay, here we go.
See people that want to defend liberty and freedom, and
at their heart,
they say very much that they do, and I believe that in them, like they actually want to do that, right? And right now, they are being distracted by cool projects with fancy colors and funny noises, and I don't want to shit on those projects because I mean fancy color and funny noises also like very important. Like building cool stuff is important, but this is the future of financial freedom, and anyone that is liberty-minded and think about central banks and whatnots need to realize that the fancy, colorful stuff that we have right now in crypto, they don't scale, and because they don't scale, at scale, the way you use them is through custodial or other third-party, other intermediaries. That is what is happening.
Like PayPal, like Coinbase, right? That's the
exactly.
It already happened. That's the norm, right?
That's the norm.
So he's talking about how some of the current projects like Bitcoin, Ethereum don't scale, and how he uses them is through intermediaries like Coinbase, KuCoin, and whatnot. But it's a case of financial freedom here in that decentralized places may not be the best to have them in centralized places. Like King and Zay have been over it, like ad nauseum. How they said Coinbase, they said like it's our money. Like if we go bankrupt, we're not gonna give you guys anything back. Stuff like that. Decentralized people, they're not really beholden to us users. They're really beholden to their shareholders. Okay. So there's a case there about financial freedom and who really is in control of your money. Okay, let's go on a little bit more.
For many of those steps, and as a result, they have the same problem. Like,
hold on. As a result, they have the same problem. Let me try to turn it up because it might be too low for you guys to hear. So sorry.
They're going to have the same problem as the old system because the problem is the intermediaries. The problem is that we don't have digital cash. Right? We have physical cash, but it's going away. So what are we going to use? It's exceedingly important because once one party can monitor all the transactions, one party can exclude people completely from the economy.
Okay. Jerry said there. So once one party can monitor transactions, that one party can exclude people from the economy, and we've seen this. This is not like over on Rockfin. I do this series, conspiracy theory, conspiracy fact, because some things that people think are just conspiracy theories are actual fact. It is a fact that people have been excluded from the economy, like how MetaMask stopped sending money to Russia. And this is not about the Russian people or like the Russian government or the Ukrainian people. Like, I think the people on both sides suffer, and these governments are the ones who are like warring and stuff. It has nothing to do with the people. So we've already seen people be excluded. The Canadian trucker thing, how the truckers were complaining about gas and stuff like that. Trudeau shut them off, so they didn't have, like, they couldn't access banks, they couldn't get crypto. Now, flash forward, money though, they could still get money from people because you can't stop people from trading money, paper money to each other. But since the central banks do not get that type of control, what Amari is saying is that that's going away. That's going away because if they can really control you doing it, they really want to take it away, it seems. So we'll go on. And this is getting into what Young Don was talking about. That's why I was saying there are both sides to this, right?
Right? With a few computer keystrokes, your life is over. You have nothing and you can have nothing and you cannot transact with anyone.
And they're already doing that, right? In a small scale. And this will just stamp it up.
Yeah, it's like what happened with GoFundMe for the Freedom Convoy, right?
Freedom Convoy. He's talking about that what happened in Canada.
Right? It's not like those people, they don't have the GoFundMe
like when you have a bill,
anymore.
right? Like $100 bill.
They don't have,
you want to hand it over.
dollars anymore. They don't have access
so like imagine
to dollars.
an equivalent would be like you have a $100 bill and you want to hand it over to someone, but there's like a force field that like burns it or like puts it back into your pocket or whatever. That's like the equivalent of this one.
So he's saying what he was saying there is like, oh, it's kind of like what happened to them, but it's the mother of all of that because it's like, okay, at least those people had money, but if money goes away, then you can't do nothing. You really can't do nothing other than like trade wares or trade goods. Like there's nothing you can do at that point.
Yeah, exactly. So we got to work on this. We got to work on this because we want to have an alternative. We cannot be fighting the thing. Like if you fight the thing and you have no alternative, you do nothing. You just complain about the Federal Reserve all day long on Twitter. That's all you do. But the Federal Reserve is gonna do what the Federal Reserve does.
I mean, of course, and the Fed,
right?
But NFTs is not how you.
Right.
So basically, it's like, okay, we gotta fight this, but like people just fight it all day talking about it on Twitter. But the Federal Reserve is going to do what the Federal Reserve does, right? So.
No, the way you end anything, be it the Fed or anything else, is by building something better, right? And we can, because that technology, it's open, it's been in the open for many years, it's been proposed for many years. But now we need to realize, like, this is how you scale a blockchain, and they are doing it, and now we need to do it.
All right, so our third attempt at ending this.
Yeah, okay.
So basically he's saying that, like, okay, we need to create an alternative, all right? And he's proposing, eCash is one of those alternatives. There's some other alternatives out there, of course, Bitcoin. There are other alternatives out there. But, of course, when we think of Bitcoin as an alternative, maybe since Bitcoin is, and I believe in Bitcoin, we know that Bitcoin is kind of appreciating asset, maybe you may want to use eCash instead of burning your Bitcoin or selling your Bitcoin or using or buying goods with your Bitcoin. Maybe you would want to use eCash instead and hold on to your Bitcoin. Maybe you would want to use Telcoin instead and hold on to your Bitcoin and your eCash. There are a couple different solutions out there. So now I want to know kind of what do you guys think before I propose a little bit more stuff on this. So you kind of seen both sides. The Fed, they're kind of cloaking it in instant payments now, but this man's just told you, like, money or gold is probably going to go away. So are you on Team Fed? Are you on team people? I'm not. I'm on both sides of the field, to be honest with you. Like, I think the Fed's gonna make money from it. I think people are gonna need an alternative here. I'm playing both sides of the field in true Rothschild type um, tactics. So what do you guys think? Let me come out here and get some questions. Which cryptos will be hurt most by CBDCs? Um, I'm not sure that cryptos themselves will be hurt by CBDCs. I think CBDCs themselves will just give the Fed and people like the Fed and World Economic Forum will give them just the greater ability of control. And people like wonder when I say stuff like that, and when people do say stuff like that, like, okay, what do you have to hide? Why do you have to be private about it? But these truckers that were out here, they weren't trying to do anything against the law. They were just like protesting about something that was unjust. There was nothing there was nothing about it where they were hiding something or doing something illegal or doing something like wrong, quote unquote wrong. They just were standing up against injustice and they just got money cut off. So, as people, we have to really look at that precedent and that example and be like, okay, what if that was me? What if my stuff was shut off? What if I had nothing? Just like the guy, like Aubrey said, a simple like keystroke, your life is kind of over. And now all it is what you can trade, if you can trade, if you can leave your house, right? So, what do you guys think about that? Personally, I have cryptos on both sides. I think the WEF side is gonna have a whole bunch of money pushing them. They're gonna have a whole bunch of things pushed into CBDCs, and I think, okay, what if there does come a day like those truckers, okay, that I'm saying something or I'm trying to defend something which this faction thinks is against them, so I need to be prepared for both, to be honest. Altcoin Bandit. Why can't we somehow come up with a way to print a physical copy, aka cache, of select crypto to bridge the gap? Well, I think that's not really the thing, though, Bandit. I think the thing is there is a controlling faction. And this controlling faction kind of makes the rules. You hear King kind of joke about it, like, that's gang gang. Like, if this one gang's in charge and they say, okay, let's just use like a really base example. What if this gang was like, okay, I don't like you wearing purple. Okay, what if purple's your favorite color? Okay, oh, why is it a problem that I wear purple? I'm gonna continue to wear purple. And the gang says, no, you can't. And then they cut off all your stuff because you're wearing purple or whatever, right? Like, there may come a day where, okay, you're like, okay, I'm going to continue to wear purple and I'm going to spend this money that I have and you guys can just shove it because that's my favorite color. That's a very base example, but I don't know if I can't find another example that anyone could think of and not like where they like a censor me or whatever or censor Gentleman of Crypto. But that's just a very base example. What if there's something like just like that? Let's like raise the stakes, the cost of gas, for instance, or how much you're paying for energy, or what they're teaching your kid at school, or like there's a whole bunch of different things that, like, okay, you as a person can come up against this controlling faction, and if they don't like that, they can choose to make life hard for you. So that's the kind of example that we're thinking of here. So there may need to be a need for an eCash, or if you want to say like a privacy coin, like a Monero or Pirate Chain or Oxen and stuff like this, because what if that group does not like what you're doing? So that, and we've gotten into privacy coins on here a little bit before. I can go pull up the watch list on the privacy coins so you guys can see them. It's gonna make me log in here. I thought I was already logged in. Um, so let's bring up that list of privacy coins. So at the end of the day, I think it's going to be a battle between these two factions. Let's bring them up. Okay, and you see these, and you can throw Bitcoin in these as well, because Bitcoin's kind of like a privacy coin, is really like they're like it's a ledger, and everything can be shown on that ledger of Bitcoin, but there are ways to make it private. So you could throw Bitcoin on this list. Um, okay, so there's Monero. Thorchain is not a privacy coin, but it is the coin that Haven allows you to offboard onto. So there's Haven. Haven has its own stable coin. Pre-search allows you to do private searching. I've talked about pre-search a lot on here. Orchid allows you to do private web browsing, and Pirate Chain. So Pirate Chain, Monero, and Haven are really the quote-unquote privacy chains, where they don't share like the kind of ledger and the information about who's doing what. So those may be things that combat against a CBDC world in which, you know, you're beholden to doing what this organization wants you to do. And that may also mean, okay, you got to have your kids taught a certain thing. They have to do a certain thing. They have to take a certain, like, medication or jibby jab thing, if you will, you know, for a certain type of thing that's happening in the world that might make you sick, type of deal. You know what I mean? So those are some of the things that you could quote unquote be canceled for, right? Uh, like to like the board from Star Trek, assimilate or die. That's pretty much it. Like, you've seen how things have gotten with certain things related to Rona, if you will. Like, okay, you either take this or you can't have this employment or that employment or that employment. Like, basically to the point where it's like implied, all right, if you ain't doing this, then you ain't got no job. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't made a law, but it was almost like, okay, it was like a strong advisement. You know what I mean? So as people, this is something we really need to look at, and I'm like almost like hesitant to even go more into this, and like saying like, okay, maybe that's something we should have a live on Rockfin about, but that this is something we have to really consider, seeing as how, like I just showed you guys, it's being tested, and then 2023 is here, right? So, you know, you got some options here. If you're on the CBDC side, you're more thinking like with the WEF coins. Let me pull up those, and I'm invested in a lot of them. I'm not gonna lie, I'm invested in a lot of them. They have really big pockets behind them, like the WEF, the SEC. These dudes have humongous pockets behind them. Um, and if you look and kind of check out the channel, my channel, I go into LCX. I go into a lot of these coins that have like the World Economic Forum behind them. Ethereum, Polkadot, Avalanche, Chainlink, Hedera, Quant, Zinquilla, Celo, Rose, Constellation. And Constellation, they kind of straddle the line of this because they're not. They've mentioned before that okay, they had the ability to go a Hedera route with it, where Hedera is governed by like the biggest companies in the world. Um, so that's another reason why kind of proof of stake is kind of a little iffy because companies can just go in and buy these coins up and now own and govern them. Like Boeing, Google, IBM, T-Mobile have done to Hedera. So so Constellation kind of straddles the line of that. Um, yeah, we got LCX um, and Origin Trail, and we also have now in here Ripple. Ripple became a member of the World Economic Forum, and if you want to check that out, you can check it out on my channel. I go into that a little bit right here. How they're now a member of the World Economic Forum, and Ripple has their hands in CBDCs and instance payments as well in Brazil. So you'll the video goes more into that. But let's see what you guys are saying here. What's up, Jamal Dos Santos? We need to protect ourselves. We need to diversify our money with private coins, Bitcoin, and other decentralized coins. That's basically where I'm at with it too. Like, okay, you need to protect yourself. You need to have decentralized money that way, on private wallets. I don't got my or hardware wallets. I don't have my hardware wallet yet. We getting it this week though. Uh, so have your money there because you could always trade it via like laptops and whatnot. And even if there was like a big like shed off of electronics or whatever, you could power a laptop with like some solar panels and a generator, and have like your keys on there and trade with somebody. Um, of course, nice to have gold and silver and precious metals and stuff that you could possibly trade with. That too, you know, food stuff like that. Who knows? But I'm just talking purely like that's a whole nother topic for another day. But just CBDCs and decentralized, like truly decentralized, sovereign, like in the hands of the people money here. I tend to go more of the like what Jamal Dos Santos is saying there. Um, I'm on both sides of the field, baby. Like, just make sure you have enough decentralized private coins, um, decentralized stuff, private stuff that you're like safe in case. All right, dude, I want to wear purple today, and you can't tell me that I'm not gonna wear purple or whatever. Just using the example. What's your opinion on USDC becoming de facto Fed coin? I'm not sure where I'm at with that, cause there's Solana and that USDC, and we already know. Shout out Crypto and Down. From Sam Bankman-Fried's father has connections as far as tax law and all of that goes in the U.S. But then there's also Hedera, and it seems like they're hot and heavy in developing possibly a CBDC and they're in bed with all of the biggest American companies right here. So it wouldn't be that hard for them to develop their own type of CBDC as well. Um, so will it be USDC? Will it be something else that Hedera creates? Or will it be, like we were saying here, where are they? Something that Cyperium gets more into? I'm not sure. We don't know. But either way, I think these companies benefit because they're going to be conduits to other CBDCs, which is what I think will happen. In like Hungary will have their CBDC, Switzerland will have their CBDC based off whatever money they use. Um, England will have its euro or whatever pound, British pound CBDC, and then whoever over here in America will have their own CBDC. But the cryptos in which all of this flow through, they're gonna make a ton of money, like Cyperium, like Cyperium, like Hedera, like LCX, like who else did we miss? Quant. And by the way, if we come over here, I keep pressing the wrong one. If we come over here and look at this Federal Reserve services, and we check out who's following them, Quant's following these guys. U.S. Currency, they're following these guys. Quant CEO, they're following these guys. And I've been already deep into telling you guys, if you come over here to the channel and check out my videos on Quant and LCX partners, we get into how Quant and LCX are about using about creating CBDCs. So we get into it, all right? We get into it. So I think all of those cryptos that are involved in CBDCs will benefit in fees from the money being transferred back and forth. What's up, Real Talk? Any opinion on Avalanche? They remind me of Chainlink in regards to their many crypto relationships. By chance, would you know which projects have the least CV involvement? Thanks. My thoughts on Avalanche is they seem like they're trying to get into this whole pool of thought. You already have AVAX and like LCX having connections. If we go here, Ava Labs, LCX, you'll see that's him. There's them here with LCX head guy Monty Metzger. So you can see Avalanche is kind of into that whole digital currency thing, and with the whole World Economic Forum. And one viewer told me about this coin, which is kind of linked to the Brazilian Real BRZ token. And if we go on to their Twitter, where the hell is it? Okay, their Twitter somewhere. Okay, let me see. If we go onto their Twitter, you can see they're doing something with Avalanche as well. Okay, I don't know if this is the right one though. This is not the right one. Well, anyways, they're doing something with Avalanche too. I can't figure out where the right Twitter handle to this is. I think it's somewhere on their page. But we've went over it before on the channel here, and we've seen, okay, these guys are related to Avalanche. Now, to answer your other question, the ones that kind of have less type of involvement in that direction we just went over eCash. It seems like Amari is. I don't know what time you got in here. Real talk. Well, we went over this, and Amari seems like he has less, um, less like VC involvement. Um, and just so I clear up something, guys, the Avalanche that eCash is using is not Avalanche. That's just what they're calling their update. It's not that they're working with Avalanche. I had said that once before, and I gotta make sure I clear that up. Um, it's just what he's calling the update, and there's a reason why he's calling it that. Of course, a little bit of marketing, but he's using the type of consensus protocol that Avalanche is using. But this is not that they're working with Avalanche. It's just what he's calling the consensus protocol update, because he's using this consensus protocol update that Avalanche uses. Um, but yeah, so this one has less VC involvement, and of course, all the privacy coins we just went over, Monero, Pirate Chain, Haven Protocol, and if you go onto Private Chain, they tell you kind of um, what what exchanges you can use and not necessarily KYC in case you want to kind of use their stuff. They also tell you how you can use their wallets and what kind of wallets they have for you to use in case you want to do it kind of privacy like that way. But these would be some of the ones that have the least type of involvement there. And here they tell you the exchanges, CoinX, um, KuCoin. I think MEX, MEXC is like that too. I don't know why they don't have them on this list. I think they're ones that you can use as well. Um, so yeah. Oh my God, this chair. Oh, what's up, Casper? Oh, of course, man. Thanks for always coming and checking out my stuff, dude. I appreciate it. BRZX also working with HBAR? I don't think so, but I know for sure they're working with AVAX. Let me see if I can find it here again. I don't know why I can't. BRZ AVAX. I don't know how I found it before. It's on the previous Gentleman of Crypto. Oh, that's because I spelled it wrong. Dur. Okay, Ava Scan. Avalanche Explorer. The first Brazilian stablecoin was launched. So this is AVAX right here with this token. It's because I spelled it wrong. Sorry, y'all. um, so you can see they have AVAX connection here, and if you look at the token, you can see it doesn't have that much movement. So it seems like it is a real like stable coin to the British real, and that they're not like actually like scamming people, even though their website is stupid simple and has so much lack of information. Um, so there's that. And shout out to whoever shared this to me. I like to give credit when the credit is due, but someone on Gentleman of Crypto here did share this with me, and they know who they are. So I just want to make sure that that's out there. Um, any more questions, guys? We got a good 10 minutes left. And keep your eyes on the channel, guys. I'm going to be doing some more like random lives here. Um, Also, I was thinking about opening up a couple more channels. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Like, I like sports, so I was thinking about creating a sports channel. Um, and we do have the Rockfin here where we could talk more stuff that Google censors. So maybe, guys, if there's ever a day that we want to have a real conversation that's not where we don't have to kind of censor ourselves, we can do it over here on Rockfin. But I was thinking about opening up a sports channel just to talk sports because I'm big into the sports. Also, I'm trying to get a new logo. I was thinking about going at it with Fiverr, but if there's somebody out there who's an artist who doesn't mind being paid in crypto and we can work out some type of like solution or whatever to get a logo, I would really appreciate it. Hit me up on Twitter. My DMs is open at Blackrue. Besides giving you some crypto, one of the things I would do is make sure that you're giving credit. I'll say logo by this person, just like how y'all know I do with Indigo Saint. It's on here, his email and stuff, and people can get in touch with them if they want to do something with him. I would make sure that your logo, that like people know that you did my logo, and I have your information in there saying, okay, get in contact with this person if you want a logo like mine. I'd love to have somebody in the community do it, but if I had to go Fiverr, I'll do it Fiverr too. It's all good. But yeah, any more questions? Let me make sure I'm live because that's how I'll be missing them. Okay, so let me wrap up with this last 7 minutes here. Couple videos y'all need to check out if y'all want, because I wasn't able to go deep with all of this. Cyperium working with the Fed. There's some videos in here about Cyperium and some stuff that they've done in the past. And eCash, I did a full analysis of eCash, like some of the good and the bad of it. So the bad side is that they don't have the whole VC involvement. For some people, that is a real bad side. So that's there. Um, I did a DAG update, and this is before Bitcoin went down. I was kind of suspecting that Bitcoin was going to go down under 20, and I think this rally we're having right now is a faux rally. I don't think, it's not going up from here. I think it's just a little bit of bull trap to go further down, okay? I think this is definitely a fake rally. If we go back to 2018, which is kind of where we're at, we're about 2 years out from another Bitcoin halving. If we go all the way back to that point, got to go back further. You can see like the same kind of thing happened where it goes up a little bit before it goes down in October and December. Or November and December, excuse me. I think we might get it in October this time. So I think this is very much a fake rally that we're having right now. So I really do not believe it. That's just where I'm at with this rally. Um, I don't know. What do you guys think? Okay, no more questions there. So yeah, I'm thinking this is a fake rally. Um, so I'm gonna be trying to grab some more coins that I believe in, like DAG, LCX, Rose, like all the coins I'm dealing with is corporate coins. But I do have my bags of like some more privacy stuff like Pirate Chain, like eCash. But I'm not even gonna front. Like most of my stuff is with the LCXs of the world because I know that they have big corporate pockets to push them. Um, it's harder for coins like Pirate Chain, um, eCash to push themselves because they just don't have the powerhouse marketing schemes. They don't have like royal families and billion-dollar, million-dollar corporations behind them pushing their stuff. Um, like one that's really pushed is the energy token. I also found out about that from you guys here on the Gentleman Crypto. Such a knowledgeable community over here. But this one is being pushed by BlackRock. We all know BlackRock. Um, I think it's EWT, Energy Web Token. And before long, too, I think we're going to see stuff like carbon credits, um, where they're kind of rationing our energy. But this is another one I need to kind of put some money towards. Um, you can see since like the 8th, it's kind of doubled here. It's kind of cooling back off now, like everything else is. But this is one to kind of keep in your mind because BlackRock and stuff are pushing it. Um, if you look at it, it's another one that kind of seems like, oh, we'll build operating systems for energy grids, powering the zero carbon economy, and all of that sounds all good and flashy until you're sitting up here having to pay for carbon credits. Even though you got energy in your stuff, even though you paid your electricity bill, you're out of carbon credits. So you need to buy more carbon credits. And you're essentially getting charged twice for your energy. So, um, sounds all cute now, but then when it creeps the other way, it's not going to be cute at all. So, it's another thing that we'll kind of have to watch out for as a people. Um, Energy Web's mission is to accelerate decarbonization of the global economy. When there's things like solar, of course, there's things that we can do as people, like little like hood farming, a little like urban farming, farming your own stuff. But even they're removing the ability for certain vegetables and stuff to make seeds because so that you're totally dependent upon Walmart and the huge corporations for that. But that's again another topic. So also this carbon credit thing is another topic. We might have to touch on this upon this on Thursday, but let me make sure you guys don't have any more questions. If you do, I'll stick around for a little bit longer. All right, real talk. I haven't heard about Dovu. I can look at it right quick. Uh, LCX. No updates after the LCX talk or about the SEC kind of talking about them and labeling them. And to me, again, I think that was a little bit of coy stuff because the SEC, I think, works with the World Economic Forum, but they're trying to make it seem like something crazy. But since then, LCX, I know they came out with another token, Tangent, on their launch pad. So LCX, they're moving along well. They're moving along well. If we come over here, LCX, Tangent, Tangent. Okay, so you can see they've launched this protocol. This is my guy Krako. He does really good LCX stuff, and he's a real good follow on Twitter. Definitely check him out. Um, so you can see here they're offering a token sale for Tangent. Pretty cool. So it looks like Tangent's also trying to do sort of like a social social media stuff as well as Web3. Um, yeah, maybe we can just check out this commercial real quick. And then, woo, shoot. So it seems like they're trying to. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Enough. So it seems like they're trying to like do a thing with tokenization with NFTs and reaching your fans. Like they're kind of be like a socialization type of deal along with all of that. So that's something to definitely check out. And that reminds me of a coin that DAG launched on their launchpad called GeoJams. We might have to do something and talk about GeoJams one day. But let's look here at Dovu. There's a couple ones like this. So there's Energy Web Token. There's also Power Ledger, which was one that the SEC targeted. Okay, that says nothing. Their supply is a little bit under a billion, which is cool. Dovu Earth. Carbon offset integrity. Okay, this is one I'll have to look at as well. Thanks, Real Talk. See, that's what I'm talking about. The real knowledgeable gentleman of crypto community up in here, guys. Appreciate it. Uh, let's look at Power Ledger as well. That's another one of these kind of credit, carbon zero platforms that we have to look at here. Power Ledger, they're a little bit under a billion as well. If we go take a look. And this was another one that the SEC, quote unquote, said was a security. The power behind new energy. And they're trying to do like Sangha Capital invest in Power Ledger. They have tons of clients, and they're supposed to also be able to. They were going to do like a power exchange, I believe they said they were going to do. So this is another one we kind of have to check out. Maybe that's next show that we do kind of these carbon credit cryptos and see what's up with those. And that will be like, we'll be way ahead of the game on that too, because like they're just beginning to kind of talk about um, carbon credits and how they're going to roll them out and further control uh, us people on that. It'll start with businesses, but then it'll slowly just creep into our lives too. Uh, okay, so I'll have to do some checking out of those. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys who made it to the end. I very, very, very much appreciate it. Definitely come over to the channel here. Like and subscribe. Share it with friends. Share it with your cousin. Share it with your family. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good one, guys. Peace.